Ever used a chisel or a plane that was too dull? Ever used a pocket knife that was too dull? Ever tried to slice a tomato in the kitchen with a knife that was too dull? Ever had good results with any of that? Ever wonder how dull is too dull? Would you believe me if I told you that dull blades are a leading cause of accidents involving blades? How weird is that? Do you know how to tell when a blade is too dull to use before you've used it? Are you ready for a pop quiz? I'll show you two chisels for 30 to 45 seconds, and using your powers of observation, decide for yourself which one is sharp and which one is dull. The same visual observation that will lead you to the dull chisel here can be used on any type of blade to spot a dull one. Can you spot the dull chisel here? I've done my best to make it as obvious as possible for this video. Today, I'll show you how to tell when it's time to sharpen before a dull edge ruins your work, or worse, your fingers. I'm Cale with Dansbee Designs, and this is part 2 of the Cutting Edge series. If you guessed the DeWalt chisel was the dull one, you're correct. A sharp edge glides through wood fibers like they're silk. A dull edge crushes, tears, and leaves fuzzy surfaces that take forever to sand out. You'll feel it too. The tool starts fighting back, skipping, or even slipping. That's not just inefficient, that's unsafe. If you're using clamps to hold down your wood and your tools are dull, you'll find yourself pushing harder than your clamps can hold. That's when you'll be tempted to use a free hand to hold on to the wood, and most likely, right in the path of the chisel that may come loose and go right into your arm. This is prime accident territory. Here's the simplest test. Hold your edge under a light. It might help to have a darker background than I have here. If you see a shiny line along the edge, that's a flat spot. Sharp edges don't reflect light, but dull ones do. This is referred to as glint, when the light reflects off of chips, dents, and flat spots on the blade's edge. Another good test is the fingernail catch test. If you want to learn how to compare a sharp blade to a dull blade, you'll first need to be able to recognize a sharp blade. Do this. Depending on what you have on hand, you need to find a very sharp blade. In most cases, this would be a straight razor blade or even a blade from a utility knife. Place the blade gently onto your thumbnail with the blade's edge at a 90-degree angle to your thumbnail. Don't apply any downward pressure on the blade, as this is not necessary to see and feel this effect. Attempt to drag the blade from near the cuticle toward the end of the nail. A new and a sharp blade won't slide at all, or at least not easily. Now try the same thing with a dull blade, and you'll notice how easily the dull blade slides on your nail. Once you have identified a dull blade, it's good to acknowledge that you don't always have to do a full regrind. A few passes on a strop with fresh stropping compound every few hours of use can keep that edge alive for days. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Quick, frequent care saves big repairs later. Sharp tools cut cleaner, safer, and more predictably. Pay attention to how they feel. The moment they resist, stop what you're doing and touch up with the stropping block. Your hands and your projects will thank you. If you missed part 1, Sharpen Any Blade in Minutes, you can watch it right here. And if you want to keep learning simple shop skills for a sharper life, subscribe and join me for next week, part 3, Stropping Secrets. Till next time, friends, peace, love, and sawdust.